Hello, my name is Femi ODUNOWO, a student of Imperial College Business School, and in this video, I'm going to share some of the insights I garnered from my study tour to Silicon Valley. I will begin this video with the context of an entrepreneur who gets a novel idea at clip.com, shares it with an ex-colleague, and then they both decide to co-found a company with the hopes of it becoming one of the great Silicon Valley companies. This video is aimed at exploring some of the challenges that these entrepreneurs would face, as well as some of the opportunities that can accelerate the achievement of their goals. To give a scope to the content of this video, we'll be looking at these challenges and opportunities from the general perspective of a startup in San Francisco Bay Area that provides internet services to users either through mobile applications or websites or both platforms. Examples of such companies include the likes of Facebook, YouTube, Google, eBay, and LinkedIn. The first major mountain in this entrepreneur's path is usually the one that stands between them and their required funding. Except the entrepreneurs have other access to funds, usually these mountains take the form of investors and venture capitalists. These founders are aware that they would have to deliver a very convincing pitch to attempt overcoming this challenge and obtaining the required funds. These VCs, however, have been through lots of good ideas and are way too experienced to be impressed simply by the novelty of an idea. Instead, they respond when they see an entrepreneur effectively demonstrating huge market potential and a business model that can scale to serve this market. And it has become increasingly difficult for entrepreneurs to meet this target, as venture capitalists have set the bar so high due to the plethora of startups that are seeking early stage funding. Even after securing funding for a novel idea, the entrepreneur still has to deal with the fierce competition from other startups and industry incumbents. This, of course, would provoke the founders to think of a winning strategy in this competitive space, and hopefully they realize that the market and product validation, in conjunction with fast speed of execution, is the key to winning in the valley. This they have to do before they run out of cash. In reality, the founders do not always have all the skills required to execute their business model, and to make up for this, they have to reach out to those with such expertise. While Silicon Valley is full of people with great skills, it is very difficult for these startups to get people on board because most of the great talents are already working for some other organizations or high-growing startups, and these entrepreneurs are unable to match and sustain a comparable offer. Luckily, these founders were able to convince two of their old school buddies that are currently freelancing to buy into their vision. Soon enough, they all realized that if they are going to execute effectively, they will need an office space, and securing one in Silicon Valley is very expensive, costing over 250% of the average US office space. Even the smallest of office spaces in the valley burns a lot of cash compared to other locations. However, these founders understand that being in Silicon Valley grants them accessibility to certain opportunistic events that can help them build their network and further their immersion in the technology and venture capitalist community. Such events and networks could increase their media exposure and further expedite their success. And should their venture fail, at least as founders, they stand to benefit from the network they have established and can leverage them in the future for other opportunities. Or if events go in favor of them, they might be part of the less than 1% of startups that survive early stage and eventually get acquired or carry out an IPO. In summary, I've highlighted some of the opportunities of setting up a tech company in Silicon Valley, namely the availability of funds, the pool of exceptional talent, and the opportunity to connect to a strong network of VCs, partners, and entrepreneurs. Conversely, the challenge for these companies include high level of competition for funding and talent, an increasing difficulty to make an impression with venture capitalists, the need for a faster pace of execution, and finally, the high cost of operating a business in Silicon Valley. So that's the story. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and it has been effective in describing some of the realities of starting a tech company within Silicon Valley. Thank you.